I've come to the realization that I think I'm a bitch, but kind of like it. Hi, I'm Janella. I'm a late diagnosed ADHDer. So let me explain. Today I've been thinking a lot about just kind of when it comes to being an autistic, there are a lot of times, especially when I'm in burnout, where I feel like a very cold person. And in general, this is something I've noticed I have felt a lot more and have kind of been okay with it and accepted it as I've gotten older. And it's the feeling of just not wanting to care or be around other people kind of at all. And this is kind of the harder part about being autistic, in my opinion, because then that makes it hard for me to want or even care about building any kind of relationship outside of my marriage or my immediate family, because it's one of those situations where an issue with being the ADHD part where it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. But I think it's also a feeling where my autism gets in the way of me desiring to build any kind of relationship because of the work and effort, and for definitely some of the fear of building that friendship or relationship and it just coming out to not being what I hoped it to be. And I think that's definitely for both ends, not just for me be a good friend to somebody, but also somebody not being a good friend to me, or building a relationship and friendship with somebody and it making it a lot of effort. And I feel like this is, not just for neurodivergent people, but for neurotypical people too, especially when you're older and trying to make friends as an older adult is just really hard. But I think even so, as a neurodivergent adult woman, because that's something that I just in general has always struggled with, is keeping friends, but also keeping any kind of female friendship, because I think for female friendships there's a lot of unspoken rules, there's a lot of social cues that you have to get, there's a lot of emotional aspects to it, there's a lot of drama, and all those things that I just listed and more are usually things that I just don't care about, don't have the capacity to actually emote or think about. Or if it's something I haven't experienced, it's really hard for me to empathize as much as I will try to, and I would definitely be there for the person that I care about. If I have not experienced something or can't, for me, because of usually my black and white thinking, I have a very logical thinking and response. It's really hard for me to be there for a female friend, and seeing the emotional side of it. This is a side of myself that I feel like I'm just accepting, and I think it's a part of my unmasking journey, because for the longest time I have always felt really lonely, and I was really lonely when I was a teenager, and especially as an adult and trying to make friends, but only pretty much in the last couple of years, especially during the pandemic. For me, I've honestly felt very happy being alone. But I think it's also because of my understanding and how much joy I'm getting out of other things apart from people. But to me, that feels really sad. And this is something I talked to my therapist about a while ago, where it's I feel sad. I guess not really sad, but I feel like I should feel sad about not wanting to build relationships or friendships or have any kind of of that kind of human connection, because I feel like if I don't try to strive for it, then that's when I might regress into being more autistic and being more focused on my interest rather than people. Not necessarily bad if I get more focused into my interests and what I like, but I'm it's a constant state of confusion and trying to see the balance, but also trying to understand and be true to my needs and wants at this point in my life. I hope there are other adult neurodivergent people who feel the same way, and if so, how are you coping with this? Because a lot of the times I feel like I've seen in this community that a lot of us feel alone and that we feel lonely, but I wonder if there's an opposite side of the community, or a differing side of the community, that is actually really happy to finally be by themselves and to have this time to themselves, and aren't really looking into building any kind of human connection in that way.